before muting.
Just to be clear.
Of course.
Just to be clear, we've been over this before. It is definitely water. Ay, ay, ay. Cool. Well, we'll give everyone a couple minutes to filter in. Bum, 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 bum. Who's that? Someone trying to get in. Admit one guest. There you go. Oh, whatever. Okay. I guess I already got it. I don't know what happens. Oh, I got some new faces today. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, quick poll. Google Meet or Zoom? We're not
Google
switching
Meet.
this, but just generally.
It's Meet all the way, right?
I don't know, man.
Zoom is just so, I don't know, heavy.
Chris, is that a Warhammer box in the background there?
No, this is a Sea of Thieves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looked like a
Yeah,
I don't know if there are any 40K
It's,
players, but it looked like a Dark
it's a-
Angels unit.
limited edition Sea of Thieves Xbox controller, which will stay in the box forever. No, I've never done Warhammer. I haven't got the patience for it.
Fair. Super fair. All right. Well, it's 12:04. I sent this. So I've got a new. Let me just text jet. All right. So I have very good news, but some more good news. Got some more folks joining Kagent under me at Solo. Jeremy, his name is Jeremy. He's not here yet, but so even more firepower. He's not in college, but he's also very good. Shout out to Jet. All right, let me open the notes here. I'm gonna stop talking. And feedback and discuss. I liked all this stuff. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. Oh, geez. All right. Anton / Jet / Dimitro. Discuss long-term memory proposal. All right. Okay, let me share this screen. Someone else joined too. No. All right. Well, before we get started, okay. Before we get started, I wanna. All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So before we get started, I want to give. Oh yeah. Oh my God. We might have to push some of this. That's crazy. That's amazing. That's super cool that we got so many things on the agenda. We might end up pushing a bit. But so I wanted to before we get started, just give any new folks the opportunity to introduce themselves. I see quite a few new faces. I'll just kind of whistle the Jeopardy theme until anyone jumps in. Obviously, feel free not to. But yeah, we just, if you want to say hi, tell us a little about yourself, what how you found us, what you're interested in, etc.
Hi, I'm Vishwa, and I work for Oracle. I found Kagent in the KubeCon last year when I attended. I met Chris, and I also met Etienne there at the lab demo sessions, and I was really interested in contributing to Kagent.
Oh yeah, welcome Vishwa. Glad to have you.
Hey everyone, I'm Yaniv. I'm working with Dimitri that you're already probably familiar. I'm working with Kagent as a user for a while, as a test environment, and Today, I'm going, I think, on the agenda, if we can hit it, I would like to discuss a new PR for us, a small PR, a Go ADK agent. That is our latest code contribute that we want to discuss. Nice to meet you
Yofi,
all.
Makore. Cool. Well, welcome. Yeah, I'm really excited. Those of us who don't come from the AI background are getting pretty tired of Python. So
Exactly, yeah.
all right. Any other folks want to introduce themselves?
I'm Jeremy. I'm working with Aton on Kagent stuff with Solo. So I've done,
Welcome.
I think, one PR so far, proxy configuration, and I'm working on other things. So yeah.
Hey there, my name is Adna. I work as a solution engineer. I started experimenting with Kagent a month ago. I've seen a post from Lynn, and then I've played with it locally. I do have an idea on maybe how to enhance a skill for it for visualization of your current infrastructure, and that's why I started joining to see how may I contribute.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome. Great to have you.
Yeah, welcome. In fact, I was just playing with agent skills with Kagent just 2 weeks ago. So
All right. Ayush.
Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Ayush. I am from India. So currently I'm working for Reddit. So basically from the Reddit data and AI team. So we are creating agents across the Reddit ecosystem. So I found Solo, like we are used to read articles Solo very much in our Reddit company. So from there I came to know about Solo.io. Also I started contribution in Kagent. So one of my PR has been merged in the Solo.io. So looking forward to contribute more advanced feature.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw your I saw you put yourself on the issue for artifact for files. I am interested in that. I haven't had a chance to respond. So I want you to know that yes, I am interested. So we can talk about that. Maybe not today because we got a long agenda.
Sure.
So all right, well, Colin, is there anyone else wants I don't think everyone else I recognize here. So Colin, you put yourself on the agenda first, so you get first dibs.
Sweet. Yeah, so I've been working away on this. Sorry it's taken so long to actually get something ready for the OAuth 2 proxy stuff. Been jumping through a lot of hoops since our security team cracked down in some really strange ways. But yeah, let me just share my screen. Cool. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll just run through it. It's fairly simple right now. But when you go to, I'll approach it from the user side first. When you go to Kagent with authentication enabled, it's gonna, let me log out first. It's going to pop you into this screen, and we can customize that however you want. I just threw something together as like a landing page.
That looks so cool.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think one of the issues was, if you enable it by default, everyone was afraid what user will see, and this is actually looks very nice.
Yeah, so this isn't enabled by default still. This will only be available when you explicitly enable it in the Helm chart. So it's completely backwards compatible. It's not gonna mess anyone up. But yeah, so you go in here, it's gonna redirect you to your SSO provider, your OIDC provider. And then it's just
Oh,
gonna
that's a,
pop you
that's a
back
real
in.
password.
Yeah, that's a real password. This is live in our company. And it shows your groups, like what you're part of, and then Nagarjun is working on the RBAC Foundation. So this is just purely the authentication foundation. We're not actually like managing any access based on that yet. So if there's no questions, well, is there questions before I jump into like what the actual deployment looks like?
I have 2 comments. Can I make it quickly?
Yeah, definitely.
So first of all, I don't know if you all know, we're doing a hackathon. Some of the contribution that I see is really exciting, like the voice support, the single sign-on support. So if there's any interest, feel free to submit for a hackathon. One of the category is contributing to projects like Kagent. The other comment I have, since you're showing this on production, I took a screenshot. Hopefully you're okay with that because we did have this recorded. I got so excited. Would you mind to actually add your company as an adopter of Kagent? Because we're looking for people willing to list their logo, like Dimitro, I think you had your logo. So if that's okay with you, I would love to have you add your logo as well.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Awesome, thanks.
So there's a little bit of mess in here that's unrelated to our change to the branch. But essentially what we're doing, give me 1 second and I'll switch to actually start with the Helm chart, and then I'll start there and then we can go to Argo. Make sure I don't have anything I don't want to show up.
Maybe I can ask a question until you find it. With this change, do we have also enhanced the schema and database, so we have a separate like a user table or something which will be populated? Because until now, I don't think we had it. And if you would try to, to have some queries in the database or relate like users with other things like sessions and other stuff, or maybe Ethan, if you can also comment on this, do we need it like this?
Yes, I think that will fall under the RBAC side of the house, right?
Yeah, that's right. This is mainly the UI part and just logging in, the login table.
So we shouldn't need a user table, Dimitro, because you just, as long as you get claims, like the users are managed by the IDP, right? All you need is basically mappings from the RBAC to the claims.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's maybe right now, yes. But if, for example, you go into realms like memory, personalized kind of settings and some other stuff, you would need some entity where you would store these settings. And I think since on UI we have already dropped down with the user on top with email, we may need some sort of, yeah, it's just an idea. Maybe we can take it to the next session. Because you may have like your personalized agent settings or additional prompts, additional prompt history, and stuff like that, like custom user-based extra prompt and so on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it falls into the same thing where you don't, like, as long as you have claims and you can get information from the claims, you shouldn't need to store direct. You can just store mappings. But yeah, we can chat about it later.
Yep. Yeah, is that the one that you're going to talk about, Nagarjun, or are you talking about a different issue?
No, that comes under what I'm about to talk about. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe it'd be better once Nagarjun's presenting. But yeah, as far as like the actual Helm chart goes, all you have to do is add OAuth2 proxy, enable it. You have to provide it a secret, right, with the client ID and the client secret. And then you have to provide these values and possibly that, the email domain. We add, we have our internal certs and stuff that we have to configure as well. So we can provide examples on how to do that for people who will need that. That's here. But all of this uses the OAuth2 proxy Helm chart as a subchart. So we don't even necessarily have to maintain the actual Helm chart for OAuth2 proxy. Unlike if we did like a sidecar or something, it gets a little bit more complicated. So we just kind of set the necessary defaults, and then the user can come in and specify exactly what they need, and it will just deploy the proxy and configure it. There's one other thing that we had to set. If I remember right, this. I set this just in case someone wants to rip out OAuth2 proxy and use their own proxy. The UI needs a way to redirect when you press that login with SSO button on the landing page. It needs to know where to go to. So in this case, it's this is what triggers the OAuth flow inside of OAuth2 proxy. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole configuration. Are there any questions there?
Just one quick question. Are you exposing Kagent outside of the cluster, or you're still accessing just via Cube port forward?
We have it configured with DNS, and we're accessing it outside the cluster.
And are you using some sort of Nginx or Gateway API to expose it, or how are you?
Yeah, by default, I believe this comes with uses an ingress resource with whatever ingress controller you're running, but we're personally using Kgateway.
Kgateway. Okay.
Oh, you're using Kgateway too? Did I hear that right? As your ingress? Oh my gosh!
Not as our ingress, but as our gateway API.
No,
but that programs a Kgateway proxy, right? If your gateway class uses Kgateway, I think that would program a proxy, which is probably Envoy, I'd guess, unless you're using Agent Gateway. Do you know if you're using Envoy or?
We're not using. I think Kgateway is, maybe someone else can speak to this better than me, but Kgateway is built on Envoy, so they share like the same backing, but they don't share the same CRDs as if you deployed Envoy Gateway.
Oh, right.
Oh,
it's
no.
Yeah,
She means Envoy the proxy, not the.
Yeah, Envoy is
gateway.
the proxy. I'm pretty sure you're not using Agent Gateway, because when you use Agent Gateway, the gateway class is no longer called Kgateway. So basically, you are using Kgateway, which is another open source project started by Solo, and a couple of us are also working on that project. So this is super exciting. So if I understand correctly, the flow is the traffic you just showed comes through the the gateway first, which is the Envoy proxy programmed by Kgateway. And once it's hit there, I assume it's this OAuth proxy that handles like authentication in front of the Kagent controller before the user can be authenticated and get to the Kagent UI. Is that the flow you are trying to show us, which is super cool?
Yeah. So we come in through Kgateway. It's configured with external DNS. Kgateway routes into OAuth 2 proxy. We also have this change deploy when auth is enabled deploys network policies, 2 of them, to prevent accessing the UI outside of OAuth 2 proxy, so that we can have more trust in OAuth 2 proxy, the headers that it sends. But so yeah, the network traffic goes into only to OAuth 2 proxy when this is configured. OAuth 2 proxy redirects to the UI, or redirects to the login page, which is has authentication skipped on that one page. So it'll redirect there if you're not logged in. Then once you log in, you have the header and all the user information in that JWT. And then OAuth 2 proxy will, instead of directing you to the login, since you have that header, it will direct you to whatever page you're trying to access.
This is amazing. By the way, you should consider submitting a conference talk to KubeCon or some other conferences, because you touch a bunch of cloud native open source projects in your production environment, and you can pull out a live demo easily in front of us. So very cool. Dimitri.
Yeah, I just have a comment, because you asked if you are using Kgateway in front of this. In this case, you potentially could use extension, right? There is a filter for the same OAuth on the Kgateway. So then in this case, you don't need this OAuth proxy.
Yeah, so that's actually one of our tasks that I'm looking on outside of this separate task, is to try ripping out OAuth 2 proxy and use Kgateway's OIDC extension internally.
Okay, so
I'm not sure I see the value in it yet, just because it's a lot more like maintenance on us than using like a prepackaged Helm chart. But I am exploring that.
Yeah, I think OAuth proxy prepackaged could be more generic, because you don't need to have the Kgateway, you don't need to have Istio.
Right.
But yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that if someone will use the Envoy for this redirection, it will also work.
Yes, yeah. It'll work with any gateway, any ingress.
Okay, thank you.
Is this merged in now, or is it to be merged?
I've not submitted the PR yet. We just have the issue out there. So I just wanted to get any feedback before I did that and see if there was any like obvious stuff that I should address before pushing that.
It's cool. I like it. So I've got it set up like decoupled, like with off proxy. So it would be nice to have it just with a nice Helm enable. That would be cool.
Especially like someone mentioned in the chat, right, that it was for them a showstopper. They decided not to go with Kagent because it was missing the default authorization. So I think for many of new adopters, this may be a good idea and very easy configuration. I would just add, maybe I could also contribute later after your PR of some documentation for Entra ID for Azure, and just to have some more.
Is that artifact going to be part of this PR, or is it just going to be another one? Do you reckon?
I think it'll be a separate PR, just because they're like they're sort of independent packages, even though they're related.
Yeah,
might be cleaner that way.
It's just funny that it feels that somehow Dimitrov has a background to look at all of our tasks. He's just explaining all of our tasks one by one.
I know. We were going to look at it implementing Entra ID too for our OIT. We just did DEX as a temporary implementation. But
I think we have a lot of common architecture here.
Cool. Well, if there are no more questions, I'll turn it over to the next person.
Garden.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So my proposal would be an extension of whatever Colin has built. If you guys looked at the issue which I created, so I could just show you a demo of how things would work. So for this, so Colin has already figured out authentication part. So this would be like authorization, like how, I mean, if a user logs in, like how do you give that user enough privileges to do what he can, I mean, what he can do and what he cannot do. So the proposal is to use Kagent, which is a very popular Golang authorization tool. So this is how
this is used by Argo CD, right?
Yeah, this is used by mainly by Argo CD. Yeah, that's the most popular one which I know of. Yeah. So essentially, so you create a model.conf which defines how the request is going to be, how the policy is going to be, and then what matches or like how each request is matched with the policy and gives a result of allow or deny. So this is an example policy which I have for Kagent. So there are like other tools, other resources which can be added here. But right now, I thought this would be the simplest to add first because these resources are independent. I did not add chat here because that comes to Dimitrov's comment where you need to know which user owns which chat. So you need to have some kind of relation for that in the database to identify and give permissions based on which user owning which chat. So I did not add chats here. So these are the three simple resources for now. It's easier to just add resources here. It doesn't require any code change. It just requires a policy change. And based on the request, like if it's an admin and then he wants to do access agent resource and then want to delete, the enforcer, the Kagent enforcer would give you a true statement or a false statement. So the backend would have this filtering in place. So whenever a UI asks for a backend, the backend will run this enforcer. This is an example code. So it will just check for permissions, and if it's allowed or denied, it will just give result, or it will like filter out results and give it to the front end. So the flow would be something like that. Once the user authenticates, a principal is created and supplied by the authenticated portion, which gives the user groups user email and ID. So Kagent looks for roles via the group policies, which I mentioned here. So you can assign each group based on your LDAP or IDP's group. And then once that's done, it will collect all the matching rules. Collect all the matching roles and check if any of these roles have permission. If there is permissions based, if there is permissions for that role, then it will just say allow or deny. So that is pretty much how authorization works with Kagent. Are there any questions? The questions I had was like, so there are like multiple ways you could store this policy and allow, you could allow users or the operator of Kagent to edit this policy. So the options are storing it in a config map, which requires you to have a config map reloader to reload the config map once there is a policy change. Or else you could store it in a database. Storing it in a database means you would have to somehow create an API for the user to add policy or remove policies. I think those are the two options which are very popular among Caspian users. So any feedback on that?
I need to get more familiar with Caspian. I'm not familiar with it, but
okay, makes sense.
I think this config map option sounds a good start because it's first of all easier, and you can just to keep ability in Helm chart maybe to overwrite some of the defaults, especially like group admin list and stuff like this. So we can easily install Helm chart and just remap list of principals to admin, and then everyone else could be like default user.
Yeah, that's what Argo CD uses. Yes, it uses control.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
If there are like any other feedbacks, I have the issue linked in the meeting notes, so feel free to comment on it.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll have to do some research on my side, but I think fundamentally using an external framework of some kind definitely makes sense to me. And even maybe, I mean, honestly, maybe the answer is actually just like an extension point with Kyverno or something. Like we just build an extension point into the code rather than assuming anything at all, right? So like there's already, I'm pretty sure, an RBAC interface in the code. So maybe we just build on that RBAC interface like some call out mechanism. And so you could use Kyverno, you could use Casbin, you could use whatever, I know there's a bunch of these out there. What do you think about that?
I mean, as I said, like for like if you want to filter out permissions for chat, that external interface or the external resource needs to access the database to identify which user owns which chat. I mean, like session ID. Like, how do you give that to the external resource?
No, the external resource would just be like, I can, if there's an issue, I can comment on it. But the basically, like, the interface in the code, right? Because what you're talking about is a code interface that would check against a config map. So all I'm saying is that interface would just be a network call, right? Similar to how RBAC is done with like OPA or Kyverno, right? Like there's an external server that it lives in your Kubernetes cluster that where the rules live basically, and it's auto updating and stuff like that. And so rather than building an RBAC system directly into the code, right? We have an extendable RBAC system, which could be again, it could be any server.
Oh, you mean like the interface would be outside and it'll just allow or it'll just give us information saying
yeah.
Okay. I see that. Okay.
So like Kyverno is a really popular Kubernetes native way to do that. But there are others as well. Again, I can put this. I can comment on the issue.
Yeah, sure.
Is there an issue number?
Yeah, it's in the meeting notes.
Okay, I'll go check that.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to be conscious of time because we're already getting pretty far. So I think, Dimitro, which one's more important to you? Discussing the memory or the Go PR?
I think the memory discussion is something probably requires more time, and maybe we can have it also on the contributor meeting.
Okay.
If you think, I would like just to.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, since Yaniv joined first time, I would like to give him some space to explain it and get your feedback.
Okay, let me move this to.
Yes, sure.
Ronit, I saw you. Hold on one second. Ronit, did you raise your hand?
Hello. Yes, actually, I've thought of a new idea actually. While using Kagent, there was one thing that instead there is new protocol AGUI
All right,
which
hold
is
on,
based on Next.js.
slow down, Ronit. If you want to
Hello,
talk about a new
hello.
thing, sorry, if you want to talk about a new thing, can you please add it to the agenda? We already have things that we're talking about for today listed on the agenda. So if you have a new topic that you want to talk about, you can put it on the agenda and we'll either get to it today or next time.
Sure, I'll add it to agenda.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Right. Yaniv.
Yes, sure. Let me share my screen also. Okay. So what we are doing lately is that we are trying to implement the declarative base image as a Go image for several reasons. One, we are not a Python developer. It's much more easier for us to maintain such a project in Go. And we have some minor, I don't know if it's minor or not, but improvements that related to performance and image size. We reduced the image size dramatically. For us, it's very important. In Amdocs, we are planning to run lots of workflow and agents on that framework. So we've prepared the PR. I removed it. I will recreate it again today. I can share the basic project structure. For now, I've developed it under a Go ADK, a new directory, because I didn't want to I didn't want to change anything in the Go code for now until we have like a general review or some or any decision that it can be merged. After that, it can be easily migrated directly to the Go with the multi command line builds and don't maintain it as a new directory. Let me skip to review just the specific directory. We implemented the core and the ADK. We have two versions. Ethan, I think you saw it. You reviewed the first one. The second one, I think it's much more cleaner. We implemented the executor as a factory. So the core package is independent of ADK. So if someone wants to implement something which is not related to ADK, it's just wiring a factory with all the parts. And we have
Yaniv, just maybe the first important comment to everyone. We would like to keep fully backward compatibility with Python image. So basically, the image which we built for declarative agent in Go can be used as a drop-in replacement. So there is a feature flag also which we added for that image parameter to the agent. And so all the other things like executors and things like that, we try to follow fully backward compatible with Python, or it can coexist.
Yes. So it's not a feature flag. It's more of we added to the agent card, to the declarative in the bring your own. It's already exists. We added the image to the deployment, the image name to the deployment. That's the only change that exists in the controller. So you can choose your image even in the declarative image, and we try to implement it, as Dimitri said, exactly the same way it's implemented in Python. And in the ADK directory, you can find our first implementation to the ADK runner and converters for between A2A and the ADK, and all ADK related implementation. Just to give you some examples, we are in a stage that we are comparing. This is my local environment. When we are testing some agents, those agents are implemented. For example, all of these executions are implemented with the Go base image, and we are comparing it to our staging environment, which holds the Python, just to make sure everything is implemented properly. For now, we can say that we've we've tested the human in the loop. We tested much of our use cases, which is complex workflow with long running MCP calls. Our most complex workflow, most heavy workflows, part of the workflow, we are modifying code or running cursor, CLI, or any other CLI codes behind the thing to generate automatic code. So right now it's in a stage that execution flow looks the same. We still need to resolve some skills-related issue, but I think it's ready for a first review. And as Dimitri said, we want to keep it as coexistence with the Python. We don't want to switch it at this stage, but I think it's a very good alternative to companies who are not familiar with Python. For us, we are planning to develop additional ADK flavors agents on top of that example.
Yeah, like bring your own with Go-based SDK. And I think this is what main comment was from Ethan, that if we prepare these Go packages, we will use them, for example, as a declarative, but they should be also consumable as bring your own. So the same SDK executor could be used for other Go flavors if someone wants to do it, right? And main challenge from, if you look on the current Python, we have in the Python several core packages. And then on top of that core, we have ADK and others frameworks. So we try to follow the same, because if we will go and try to abstract completely everything to have like Kagent own interfaces, then we end up to have too many adapters and mappings, too many classes. This was initial, you remember initial PR with too many classes because of that. And the one which we see now, it's a more ADK specific. So it's still like a base on these GenAI packages and interfaces. So we are not wrapping it or abstracting completely with Kagent own thing. This is kind of a trade-off what we can have between too many unnecessary mappers or the cleanest solution. Yeah.
Just one note for our implementation, we dropped the image size from 1.5 gigabyte the Python to 30 megas. Okay, and Go. So for us, it was a nightmare, to test, and we want to contribute, and we have lots of timeouts related to the Python version, but for us it was a nightmare just to test it, and every change to build the image, it's like heavy lifting, like I don't know, Java EE like a decade ago. So
I
right
think
now
everyone knows it also on local.
Yeah.
I think local development was really difficult because of that image size.
Yeah, so I think my first image was 16 megabytes, now it's 30, and it will remain very light and very tuned. We're willing to offer it as Amdocs and contribute, and we are planning to develop additional agents on top of it. So we'll probably get lots of other improvements to that in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
awesome. I mean, like you said, Dimitri, my main comment was I just wanted to use more of the upstream library, because it is clearly, it has a lot of stars, like it's in the Google repo. Like I think we should try and, I don't want to have, I was worried about maintaining entirely our own Go version of this library. Like that's a big, it's a lot of code to maintain forever. So I'll take a look at this new PR as soon as it's up. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, listen, if I never have to write Python again, I'll be a happy man.
We would require maybe some folks, if you're interested as well in Go SDK, to test it with different providers, because we would need to test it also like with Anthropic, with Google, with Olama. I'll try to do my best to cover as much as possible and do some E2E testing. Also, we have mocks, right? So we can mock some of those.
Yeah, we have the mock LLM library, and feel free to add more providers to that. I mean, I think right now it can do Jet. Can it do Gemini yet, or it's just Anthropic and
No, it's Anthropic, OpenAI, and OpenAI responses.
and OpenAI responses? So, yeah. But,
Okay.
cool. Well, that's freaking awesome. Yeah. So if anyone else wants to take a look as well, I'm definitely going to take a look ASAP. So, is that PR up again, Yaniv, or?
Yeah, it will be in a few minutes. I just removed
Okay.
it, yesterday because
I
I had
saw. Yeah.
accidentally
The
pushed
AT.
amdoc.ca file to a Git repo. Yeah. It's a public file. It's not a big deal. But it's just it's just
I
yeah.
know.
It just alert all the security teams, to call me in the middle of the night.
No worries. Just add there some crypto and so on. And
Yeah, exactly. I expect a Bitcoin miner in the 30 gig or 30 megs. Cool. All right. Well, we don't have much time left. We're basically at time. I think what I'll do is I'll push the remaining agenda items to next week, and then for the 80K or for the what's it called, for the memory, we can plan to talk about it at the next. How do I copy this date thing? Anyway, we can plan to talk about that at the next contributors meeting. Does anyone else have any thoughts before we finish up?
I had a very quick question.
Yeah.
I know it was like 2 weeks ago we were talking about that MCP bridge.
Which one?
So the one so that like things like Claude Code and stuff could use the bridge to list the agents.
Oh, that's done.
That's done, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I demoed that at our offsite.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't obviously there.
I think for that one we need to extend it a bit because it has only like list agents and call agents, but for example, there is no ability to list sessions or get existing session. Maybe if you run it, it was kind of fire and forgot, and then you go back and you want to retrieve
I think
something.
we should make those, like, we can add extra optional tools maybe, right? I think that the default use case you just need, right? Because every tool adds context, right? So like maybe having optional tools, but I definitely agree with it that we can add more tools.
Does the Claude session hold the session? So if I like resumed my Claude chat, it would still be there?
Oh.
Well, I think like the session, like every time we invoke an agent, that like the tool call actually returns the session. So if you like reload your Claude chat, the session is actually gonna be there, like in your Claude, like in the tool response, and an agent can like use it. But you can like list the session as per like, oh, if I do it through the UI or
okay,
CLI,
right.
and then so we might have to add
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, it's time. Ayush, did you have a quick question before we?
Yeah. Thanks. So can you please assign me this issue regarding the upload files? That next meeting I can propose my idea about the implementation plan, and we can start.
Let me unassign this guy.
Yeah, and feel free to do us a demo on the voice support too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's indeed a good feature for a generative AI application, and if we can get the upload files as well, so it would be good for us as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we are out of time. So I will talk with y'all soon. Have a wonderful week.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See ya.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.